We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Good noon everyone. We are going to learn about passing array to function and recursion of the functions. Contents are array, passing array as parameter, examples, recursion, conditions of recursion, program for factorials and Fibonacci series. Now first array. Now array is collection of element having same name, type and size. Also we can say is array is homogeneous collection of elements stored at continuous location, where homogeneous stands for same type and continuous location meaning if we give a size to an array, it will be starting from the index 0 to whatever the size is minus 1. For example, I am giving size of array is 5, integer a and size is 5, then it will be starting from 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay. Now there were 3 types of array, which were a single dimensional array, 2-dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. Now this example is of single dimensional array, where data type is integer, a is array name and 5 is size. Also this is 2-dimensional array, where we are providing row and column, row size and column size as well. And another we can say is we have given the type here as float, then array name is marks and size is 10. Okay. Now moving to further, next topic is passing arrays to functions. Okay, there are many ways where we can pass arrays as functions. First is formal parameters as pointer. We are passing parameters in form of pointers, where void is my type of function, which is return type, integer is data type of parameter and star is representing pointer. This is one way. Now another way is formal parameters as a sized array, where we have given size of array into the parameters having integer param. Next way is formal parameters as unsized array. As we all know that we have to specify the size of array, but if we are declaring it before the main function, we can give it empty. So here void my function is function name, integer and then parameter is param and then blank squares for sizes. Now let's see an example for this. We are declaring hash include studio.h, then void average integer array comma integer size. Void is return type, average is function name, integer array is first parameter, integer size is second parameter, where we have not given any size of array and integer size, 2 parameters. Next is void main, and then integer n we have taken a variable which is name is n and size is 5, which values are 1000, 2, 3, 17 and 50. Next is average n and 5. So here I am calling the average function. After the hash include studio.h, it is function declaration, and in the main function average n comma 5 is function call. Now n will be given to integer array and square brackets, which is n's value, and then 5 as size. Now my array's size is 5. Next, this is definition of a function. Void average integer array integer size. Here I have taken another variables, integer I, float average, float sum is equals to 0. For I is equals to 0, I is less than size and I plus plus. Sum's value is 0 here for starting, and as we have given size as 5, so my loop will be 0 to 4, less than 5 is 4, so 0 to 4. Sum is equals to sum plus array of I. I's value will be starting from 0, 0th location, which is 1000, plus every time it will increment the index value up to 4, means 1000 stands for 0, 2 is 1, 3 is 2, 17 is 3, and 50 is 4. It will increment one by one, add to sum. That's why we have taken 0. Okay. Now we are also calculating average. Average is equals to sum divided by size, which is a simple formula, and we are printing the average here. This is a simple example where we have passed argument, also we have passed as array. Now next is recursion. Now simply recursion means a function calling itself. When a function calls itself, it's called as recursive function. The definition says the process in which a function calls itself directly or indirectly is called as recursion. There are two ways of recursion, direct and indirect recursion. First we will see direct recursions. Now a direct recursion is when a function is said to be direct recursive if it calls itself directly. A function simply calls itself is called as direct recursion. For example, we have given a function void recursion. The name of function is recursion and return type is void. Now in this we are calling a function named recursion. It means the recursion function is calling itself. Okay, and then integer main. Now if I call the function recursion in main function, what it will do is go to the definition section and it will keep calling itself until a specified condition is satisfied. Let's see in indirect recursion. Now when a function is called by another function in which it is declared, it is called as indirect recursion. A function is said to be indirect recursive if it is called another function and in the new function it calls the first function. Okay, for example, we have declared a function 1 having parameter or argument n. Next is if n's value is less than or equal 0, we will be returning 1, else we will return function 2's n. Now we can see here that if the condition is false, we will be calling the function 2. So function 2 says it also is having size integer n, okay, and it will return function 1. So here we can see if the condition is true, it is simply returning 1. If the condition is false, it is calling the another function which is function 2. In function 2, it is calling function 1. The functions are calling itself, but it is indirect. As we can see here that the function 1 is calling function 2, which is a new function, but this new function 2 calls the first function which is function 1 again. This makes the above function indirect. Functions are calling one another but indirect way, hence it is called as indirect recursion. Now advantages and disadvantages of recursion. First we will see advantages. Advantages are recursion makes program elegant and cleaner. When we have to do multiple processes multiple times, if a function is not satisfying a particular condition, then it will keep calling itself. We do not have to write code again and again. So we will be creating recursion which will make my program elegant and not bulky, in the sense it is clearer. Now next is better understanding of algorithm. As we have seen algorithms already, what we were doing if a function is calling itself or multiple processes were going through, we had to give steps numbers. Okay, so it was a bit confusing. Now if the function is calling itself, it will keep repeating the steps, so we can better understand the algorithm. And next is less code and small programs. Okay, the recursion and the function's main motto or main motive is that less coding. If the code is less, my program will be small. Now there are disadvantages as well. Disadvantages: slow speed, because a single group of code or a bit of code, line of code will be repeating, okay, until and unless a condition is satisfied. So it will make my program a bit slow. Then more memory space will be required to store intermediate results. What do we mean by intermediate result? Is each and every time a function is called, it is actually returned in backside of the memory. If I call a function 100 times, it will be returned 100 times in the main code. So intermediate results will be requiring more memory spaces. Okay, now next example is sum of natural numbers using recursion. We are using the method recursive functions to give sum. Hash include studio.h. Next is integer add numbers and the parameter is n. This is my function declaration. Now void main, integer number, printf enter positive integer, scanf I am entering a number and storing it into number num. Now we are printing the value sum is equals to %d. Also we are calling a function which is add numbers and num. As we can see here, the function add number is having integer return type, so it will return a integer value, we know that. Okay, next is integer add numbers, parameter is n. This is my function definition. Now the condition is if n's value is not equal to 0, what it will do is add function number n minus 1, which is size here, and then it will add into itself n plus n minus 1. Until and unless it reaches to 0, it will keep repeating the values, else it will return the n's value. When it will go to n is if it is 0, unless it will return values and keep adding to itself. Okay, the output will be positive integer 20. If we are entering 20 here, scanf a number here, and it will return addition of the values. Okay, now next most important program is factorial program in C using recursion. Okay, now what a factorial is, we know that if I want a factorial of 5, what it will do is simply 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, it means it will keep multiplying the numbers until and unless it reaches to 1. If I want to give factorial of 7, it will do is 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, we are not multiplying it by 0, as we all know that anything multiplies by 0 is 0. So we have to calculate or multiply the number till it reaches to 1. Okay, as we can see here, the factorial number 5 is factorial of 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 and into 1. Okay, so now next is as factorial n factorial is equals to n minus 1 factorial into n. This is the formula we are going to apply. A factorial function calculates the factorial by recursively multiplying n with n minus 1. Program is studio.h, factorial, integer, function's name is factorial, return type is integer. Also as parameter I have passed a integer value. Next is void main. Now integer n, another variable, integer f for calculating factorial. Enter an integer to find its factorial. We are providing a number so that we can calculate the factorial. Scanf %n. So now n is my number, the number we are going to find factorial, and f. So now if the number is less than 0, the factorial of negative integer isn't defined. We cannot calculate factorials of negative numbers, we know that. Okay, so now if it is not, we will be calculating the factorials. Else we will call the function named factorial and return the value in f, as we know that integer is return type, so we will be returning a value to integer f. And printf factorial percentage d, the value is in f, so I am writing here f. So now the function definition is integer factorial, parameter is n. If n's value is equals to 0, we will simply going to return 1. Else what we will do is return n into factorials n minus 1. The factorial and n minus 1 is function, so it will keep calling the function and it will decrement n by 1 until it reaches to 0. So here we can see is it will return start from n multiply by factorial and n minus 1. For example, if my n's value is 5, if I want to find factorial of 5, okay, the first condition if n is equals to 0 is false here, as my number is 5, it will go to else and it will return 5 as n is 5 into, it will call the function with n minus 1 which is 4. Now n's value will be 4. It means n into 4. Again the function is called, n's value is 4 and n is equals to 0. It is not true, so it will else return the value which is 5 into 4 into again multiplication factorial n minus 1, 4 minus 1, 3. It will keep repeating until it is 0 and then at last it will return 1. So this is the factorial of recursion. As we can see here, the number whose factorial is to be found is n. Recursive function is factorial of n, calculate the factorial, and factorial is n factorial is equals to n minus 1 factorial into n. Factorial function calculates the factorials by recursively multiplying n with n minus 1. Finally, when n's value will be 0, it will return 1 because 0's factorial is 1. Okay. Now, next important program is program for Fibonacci series. Has include studio.h, integer Fibonacci, function's name is Fibonacci and return type is integer I is parameter. Next is if i's value is equals to 0, we will be returning 0. If there is no value, we will be simply returning 0. Okay. Let's see first what Fibonacci is. Fibonacci actually is addition of numbers up to particular n numbers. If I have to find Fibonacci series of 5 numbers, what I will be doing is 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, okay, which is 5 numbers, okay, 5 numbers from 0 to 4. This is adding of numbers, okay. So now what it will do is 0 plus 1, it is 1. Now the 1 and the 1 plus 1 which is 2, then again 2 plus 1, 3, then 3 plus 2 and 3 plus 4. It will increment the values and add the values, okay. If I is equals to 1, it will return 1. So return Fibonacci I minus 1 plus Fibonacci I minus 2. We have to initialize two values first, which will be mostly 0 and 1. So we can proceed with additions, okay. So if I want to add 5 numbers and I am giving 2 numbers already, which is 5 minus 2, hence we have written here is I minus 2. It will leave us with 3 values to add, okay. Now next is void main integer I. For I is equals to 0, I is less than 10 and I plus plus. We are calculating Fibonacci till 10, which will be 0 to 9. Now we are printing the Fibonacci of I Now the function is called here, so what it will do is it will decrement the values by 1 and 2 and it will keep adding until the output is done. Okay, this is Fibonacci series.